Hi, my name is Rick Gualtieri, and this is another installment of Tales from a Midlist Author, coming to you from my home office with the really screwy lighting. And I either look like I'm in a horror movie or I have a spotlight shining down on my bald head, blinding everybody. Still working on that, but ignoring the fact that I'm obviously not a video professional, what I'm here to talk to you today is professionalism, but in the writing craft. One thing, the difference between today and say go back 10 years ago, 20 years ago, however long back, is that the barriers to entry to this business have been lowered greatly. You go back even really 5 years, maybe a little bit longer, and self-publishing wasn't so much a thing, or it was in its infancy. It was more vanity publishing, which nobody gave a crap about. The truth of the matter is, if you wanted to make a mark, you had an agent, you had a publisher, and you weren't necessarily worrying about user reviews. You were looking at things like, okay, the New York Times and such. And if you got a bad review in the New York Times, either you dealt with it, or you wrote a rebuttal, or you had a public meltdown. But those were few and far between. These days, not so much. There's very thin. It's like a pane of glass between you and the reader, and that can be a good thing. Some people thrive in that in this environment. It can also be a bad thing, because part of the problem now is that you can write all the stories you want, but the second you put it up for sale, you're a professional. But not everybody is ready to act like a professional with regards to this. Some people put it up, assume they're going to be the next J.K. Rowling, assume that they've written a universally beloved tale, and the truth of the matter is, there is no such thing as that. No matter how many books somebody has sold, millions, billions, what have you, there's always going to be people out there who can't stand what you write, or can't stand you as a person for whatever reason. Excuse me. And the bottom line is, some people can't handle this. They're convinced that they've written the best thing since sliced bread. Maybe they've convinced they put out a great work of art. That's above reproach. Whatever the reason is, some people will put these a story out there, go to check reviews, see that they have a 1-star, and completely flip out. Now, a private flip out is one thing. Nobody cares about that. Nobody's going to see it. These days, though, we have social media, we have blogging, we have all sorts of ways to track down, somebody that we don't like, if we really either want to, or we're just a nutcase. And that's really comes down to the issue. If I if I look and I see, if somebody sends me an email says, "You suck as a writer," well, hey, maybe it ruins my day. Maybe I maybe I go and complain to the family, and then it's over. No big deal. Whatever. I move on with my life. They move on with their life. Other people, though, decide to have that public meltdown. Maybe they'll go to Twitter. Maybe they'll go to Facebook. Maybe they'll write a blog. Maybe they'll they'll dig down and try to find that that person's actual home address. Bottom line is that they'll take it personally, and they'll make it a personal issue. And really what that does is that does nothing but, one, turn people off to self-publishers, and really just gives this entire industry a black eye. It's horribly unprofessional behavior. Bottom line is this: if somebody buys your book, they're essentially paying your salary as a writer. And there's a phrase there that we should all remember. Excuse my French, but you don't shit where you eat. And plenty of people do that. They'll get a lousy review. Maybe they'll go onto the comment section of Amazon and and be like, "Hey, thank you for reading my book. Too bad you're too stupid to understand it." And that really doesn't work out. Now, some of you might be thinking that all publicity is good publicity. I mean, hey, a lot of people watched the Grammys this past week. I think we saw what happened there. A lot of people have watched TMZ and seen celebrity meltdowns, and they're the mindset that, hey, people love a good train wreck. They're getting attention. The difference, though, here is that the people that they're looking at are already making millions of dollars. They're already famous. They've already crossed that line. They've already paid whatever dues, mostly. And as a result, that press becomes more spectacle. Whereas if you're a new writer, you haven't sold a lot of books, you're still learning your craft, and you decide to be an asshole, well then there is no spectacle. You're just an asshole, and probably a lot of people will look and say, why do I want to deal with that? Think about that. You know, are you really helping yourself, or are you just making a reputation of being a jerk? And as a result, also hurting your fellow writers because, well, by being a jerk and other people being jerks, some people might look and say, hey, you know something? I'm just going to actually stick to writers I know that don't call me a jerk, and I'm not going to like step out of my comfort zone. I'm not going to try new things and all that. So as a result, it really just hurts everybody. It's not just a singular thing, but also it does make you look like a complete and utter asshole. So my advice is this: be professional, be gracious, and if you do read something online about yourself and it does cause that flip out, turn off your computer, step away, find a closet you can lock yourself in, scream at the top of your lungs, and then sleep on it, because I guarantee tomorrow you'll feel better. It won't seem that big of a deal, because the truth of the matter is, it probably is not. And you'll probably save yourself yourself and possibly others a lot of heartache. You won't freak out the person who who left that bad review. You won't make yourself look like a jerk. You won't, take something that most people would ignore and essentially put a spotlight on it. Thus, really, I'm sure that'll really jumpstart your career. And overall, the public persona that is you will maintain that integrity of professionalism, which is really something you want. And trust me, I've been doing this for about 4 years. I can't say everything I've done is perfect. If you go to my Twitter feed, there's a lot of stupid stuff there, but that's kind of like the brand I've built for myself, and also it's stuff that I enjoy doing. But you'll see one thing I don't do is I'll joke with my readers. I'll have a good time with my readers. I don't treat my readers like garbage, because they should be treated like gold, because what they're essentially doing is they're allowing me to do something that I love. So keep that in mind. That's been another installment of Tales from Midlist Author, and I hope to speak to you soon with another topic of interest in this crazy industry. Later.